Well, I got this week off with my part-time job, so I figured it's a good time to hammer out on the stealth a little bit. One of the problems I've had since I initially changed the bearings the first time, hoping to fix the problem and it didn't work, was I couldn't get my dipstick to go back in. You go like this, and that's it. Can't get it in. Down here, and it's hitting the cradle. Now, and it will only come back through if you pick it and kind of like pull it back, and then she'll fit all the way. So after going online and talking to some people, I found out it actually goes in here. As you put it through, this kind of catches it and brings it down, and this is where it gets its oil level from. But I'm assuming what happened was when the first time I changed the bearings, I never pulled the dipstick out. So when I put this pan back in, it took this tab and it bented it in. So then every time I went to put the dipstick in, it wouldn't go in. And I broke the last dipstick trying to get it back in. So now, let's see if I straightened her out. Kind of, see, she's a little bit of a flared out here. Kind of curves out, but hopefully that'll work. Cleaned the pan out again, so, and then just finished hosing it down with some brake cleaner. That's why it's kind of, had to make sure I got all my old bearing material in here. You could still see specks of it, which is frustrating because I don't want that crap to go through my engine, and I've cleaned this thing out numerous times. So hopefully that'll be good enough. And other than that, I got it mostly back together. I'll swing her down here. I changed all my coolant hoses here, mostly with these are like silicone ones, really expensive, but I did most of them. And then I ran out of hose, and well, then these two I didn't. Turbos are bolted on. I hate doing this, but I got some mismatched hardware. I couldn't find everything. Well, like with the turbos here, I snapped the bolts off. So I re-drilled them, tapped them, and then, yeah. Like this one, much more extensive because I snapped all these studs off too. So these studs, this is a stud kit from, I don't know, I don't remember which store I got it from, if it was 3SX or Ninja Performance, one of the two. New gasket. And here, it's kind of, because these studs, they're what, M10 by 1.25. They're like fine thread, and I can't find them. And when I do find these studs, they want like $1 million frickin' dollars for it. So that sucked. Even finding like the bolt that's in there, because it's M10 by 1.25. A lot of hardware stores, I don't know if I got an example laying around here or not. They're like this. They got a big head on it. Well, the problem is once you, like this one down here, once you go to put that bolt in, the head of the bolt will hit the exhaust, and you can't do nothing with it. So I found some ones with Allen heads, and that ended up being a nightmare because a couple places I stopped at can't get them, can't order them. Then the one place that can, Fastenal, they wouldn't sell to me because I don't have a business account with them, and so that was frustrating. I ended up going to a place called Packer Fastener, and they were more than willing to help me out, so that was cool. The only thing that I'm concerned about is right here. This one lined it up perfect. The one that goes into the bottom of the throttle body lined it up perfect. This one does not. It's way off. And I've pulled this intake off numerous times, checking things, because that tells me that it's not sitting level. And I don't know. I can't find nothing wrong. All those bolts down there are tight. The gaskets are tight. This is nice and tight. I don't know why it's not lining up. So, whatever. That one's not going to get hooked up. Then I also had one of these plugs running underneath the crossover tube here. So I had to undo all this again just to pull that plug out. So that was kind of frustrating. The big thing with this engine I noticed is don't lose any of the hardware. Like these banjo bolts here, you can't find them anywhere else but like 3SX Performance or whatever, and they want like $10 a piece, and it's a pain in the ass. Of course, I did lose one of them, and so I got one of the ones from my kit that ended up not working, which like here's a piece of that kit. But so yeah, don't lose any of the hardware. Also, I've always done this and never really had problems until recently. I always put stuff in like Ziploc bags and labeled it. Like this, like here's the motor mount, bell housing bolts, AC pump, flywheel, and here on a bunch of them, the oil must have got on it and it wiped off all the markers. So I had a bunch of bags left over with no clue where they went. So then that was frustrating. So then on the car itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate the battery to the trunk. So I removed the battery bracket. I also think that'd be a good spot for my catch can, just to mount it down there. This not so cheap catch can, I'm kind of disappointed in it. I was watching videos on catch cans and they always have some kind of baffle or something in there, and there's nothing on this one. So I was kind of disappointed by that. Then for this, kind of what I was thinking about doing, because there's a bunch of PVC coming off the valve cover. There's another one here, and then this one here. Is I'll probably take them, tee them off, and get them teed onto one line, and then run it through the big fitting here. Then as it goes back out, tee it back off, or maybe even just cap the other ones and just run it to one part on the intake. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that. Also for vacuum lines, I'm not putting that bracket on here. I also removed the solenoid bank that's on the wall here. This is kind of the vacuum diagram I'm going to go off of. This is like the car. A lot of vacuum lines there. And then this is something I got off a line. So should clean up a lot of the vacuum crap. That's why I eliminated that, and that cleaned it up a little bit. And so yeah, I guess that's update on the Dodge. Flywheel's bolted on, all torqued down, 55 foot-pounds. Oh yeah. Got that all on. Now I just gotta get her torqued down. Got the flywheel torqued down at 55 foot-pounds. Using some red Loctite on her so she ain't coming loose. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting farther. Transmission's bolted on. So we're that much closer to getting that set up in that car. Oh yeah.